Damn. So now what prison are you in again?
I'm in Fort Dix.
Fort Dix. Now, did you make it to the low or to the camp?
Nope, I made it to the low though.
I thought you were going to go to the low. 3,000 inmates over there? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Damn, man. Man, I just had you on the show the other night, and now you're in prison. What a trip, man. Wow.
I know, right? It's just crazy, right?
Yeah, I tell you, man. So,
I wasn't going to be in touch, huh?
well, not this soon, man, but thanks for calling. Hey, so tell me, you didn't have to do any quarantine or nothing, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's why I couldn't get on the phone and stuff, because I'm quarantined right now.
Oh,
They got some shit where they put everybody together, right?
Yeah.
And anytime somebody new come in, they reset the clock.
What do you mean?
Like they got 100 people in one block right now. And if another person come in, they reset the clock. We're supposed to be here for 10 days. Every time somebody come in, they reset the clock. This shit is stupid.
No shit.
Like we're going to be down here for months.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we ain't even out of here for a long time. Till the whole shit get packed up and full. And where nobody can fit, and then they go through the 10 days.
Really?
All we've been doing is resetting the clock. Every time somebody new come in, they just brought 100 niggas in yesterday, last night.
What?
They went upstairs, and they brought us downstairs and put 100 people upstairs. I'm like, what the fuck?
But you're not in the you're not in the shoe though. But you're in like the ranges or.
No, it's like this. Okay, so it's like dorms with a whole bunch of bunks in there, and like rooms. It's like one room got 7 bunks, another room got 7 bunks, another room got 7 bunks. It's
Okay.
Like that.
Wow. Man, what a trip. Hey, is there anything you want to say to the world out there? Because I might just be broadcasting you right now.
Yeah. Show me some love. Shit, I need some love around this motherfucker. You know.
So you need some money on your books and some letters, right?
Yeah, please, man. I need that shit. It's necessary. I ain't got shit, bro. I had some money, but that shit is gone. I had $40. That shit is gone on this commissary because we go to the store on Monday. So whoever gonna send me something gotta send it now because we're going to the store on Monday. I got $40 in there, and that shit is spent on a pair of sweatpants and some flip flops, literally.
I'm actually doing a show right now. I'll put your info on the screen for people, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, you didn't know when you just called me that I was doing a show, did you?
No, but you know you be on your shit though. So shit, you know you're gonna keep this shit live.
I went a little early. I was gonna go live in 10 minutes, but you called. I hit the live button, man. And you got people watching you right now, man. Life in Prison is out there. A guy named Zach from Life in Prison, man. You ever watch his channel?
No, I didn't see it. Oh no, I think I did see that one, Life in Prison. I think I did see a little bit of that.
He's the guy. He's got a job at a hospital. He's got his hospital greens on. He's a black dude. It's called Life in Prison. It's a good dude, man. Turned his life around.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, you know, they got all these programs and shit. So hopefully, like, they taking 30. You know, I'm a nonviolent, even though it was a gun, it's nonviolent. So they said like I should go to this program and take off every 30 days. They take off 15 days.
Oh, you get the 15. That's good because I thought they were only going to take off 10 days because he had a gun charge. That's great. So you get 15. That's good news. I knew it's not violent, but I thought with the gun they might, that's good news, man. People need to hear that.
I don't get to go to that program though. I can't go to that program.
To the RDAP. I knew that gun charge was going to screw you up on that. But do they have the non-residential RDAP? You can get 6 months halfway house for that.
I ain't looking into that one. I'm gonna look into that one.
Okay, it's called.
I haven't even talked to the counselor yet.
Yeah, it's called the non-residential RDAP. It's 200 hours, and it'll give you like 6 months home confinement or halfway house. And then they got all the other programs and classes. You got 3,000 inmates there at Fort Dix, so I know they got a lot of programs and classes. But you got to get out of quarantine first before you can start all that, right?
Right. Yep. I can't start nothing until I get out of this quarantine. Yep.
Yeah. How's the food? How's the food going?
And this shit is nasty as hell. Bro.
Is it really? You're not getting the real food though. You're getting what? Quarantine food or what?
Yep, the quarantine food. We ain't get to the block to get the real food yet.
TJ wants to know how much time you got. He got 37 months, TJ. He was a felon in possession, you sold 2 guns, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah, TJ was on the show the other night with you.
Send me some change, man.
TJ, he needs some change. He's doing time, TJ.
This call is from a federal prison.
Yeah, about like $10, $20.
$10, $20, guys, whatever you. I'll put his info up here shortly. So yeah, Lewis Burden, man, he's at Fort Dix. So I might as well say your name now so you can get some money, right?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Lewis Burden, Birden. Just type in Lewis Burden, and but I'll put it up in a minute when I get Fort Dix. The low. He's at the low facility, guys. So
if y'all want me to call y'all, give me your number because it's gonna be free. We give people 500 minutes for free.
yeah,
Use up every second. Hell yeah, they give you 500 minutes every month for free.
that's right. They're still doing that. Are they going to keep that going next year? Do you know?
I'm not sure. They should though, because I mean, like, why not? You know, they got COVID still going on. If everybody's running from COVID still, they might as well keep it going. I don't see why would they change it.
Yeah. You had a couple people say hello to you, Khalil and TJ, life in prison. I started early, but
You knew I was gonna call you today.
hey man.
Word, man, I miss being home, bro. I just was talking to you out there, and then it's like, damn, I had to come in this bitch. But you know, I did the right thing. I got kids. I don't need you people kicking out everybody's door I know and shit like that, looking for me and shit. I'm too grown for that. I just have to get this shit over with, man.
Hey, TJ says, he goes, I'm on federal probation. I don't think I'm allowed to send another inmate funds. You can, TJ. If not, have your wife do it or your girlfriend or somebody. But I did it while I was on probation. I'm still on probation, and I send people money.
I could be your brother or something. They don't know that you can take care of a person ahead. You got to take care of your people.
You hear that, TJ?
Yeah.
So Khalil says he got sentenced February 3rd for a machine gun 922G. Oh yeah, I remember that. He's got sentencing. He's gonna get sentenced for machine guns. He's a 922G, and I remember we talked about that. It's not listed underneath the RDAP rules that you can't get in. The 922G is not on their rules, but we're gonna see what happens.
How much time they give him?
He hasn't been sentenced yet, so in February.
Well, good luck, bro. They giving us 30 or better, so good luck, bro.
Yeah.
People in here with 30 months. I got 37, but it's people in here depending on how your background looks. You can get 30. Some people get 37. I pray you don't get more than 30 though. But they doing niggas so filthy right now. It don't even matter. Like it all depends on your criminal record.
Hey man, you could have got the 5-year mandatory, so they're not doing you that bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's another thing. Thank Trump for that because like he got these programs going for us where we can get out early. But yet though they gotta make it look like a certain type of way now because you know they got this shit going on now and shit. To where they don't want to make it look like they want to kill us, so they're giving us the low. Right now, like I was like it was some like 70 months or some shit like that on down to 35, 37. They gave me the lowest one. They're gonna do that to a couple of people right now because they're trying to make themselves look good. Wow.
Hey, Khalil says he took a plea deal for 18 to 24, and he wants to know where are you from? He said Midwest. You're from Syracuse, New York, right?
Yeah, no, you can say Syracuse, yeah, but I caught a case in Rochester.
Oh, you caught a case in Rochester. I don't know the difference, but that's nowhere near New York City, right?
Hour and a half away.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half away.
Hour and a half away from Rochester. Okay. And how far is New York City?
Oh, New York City is like 5 hours.
Oh, okay. So you're what do they call it? Upstate?
Yep, I'm upstate.
Upstate. All right. I always trip how they say upstate. You know, I watched.
I like the little fat shit though because you can go on the computer and check your account and see what people talk shit and shit like that.
Yeah.
They got that little.
This call is from a federal prison.
Somebody said something in 10 minutes, I'll be able to tell if that shit there or not. Like that shit, I like that shit. It's different.
Hey, Tess, good to see you too. Somebody else says glad to catch me live. I got a guy calling us live from Fort Dix Prison right now, guys. So what do you want to tell the world out there, man? I know you want some money on your books, but you got to – what's federal prison like when you get to a low? Are you going to be able to survive this?
Oh, yeah, you'll be all right. You just got to mind your business because most of the time it's just people be getting in shit because they ain't minding their business. And you got to leave the drugs alone and gambling. Drugs and gambling is something you don't want to.
And the cell phones. You want to leave the cell phones alone, right?
Yeah, leave them shits alone. You get another charge for that. Leave them shits alone. People going to jail for that shit. I ain't messing with them. They give you 5 minutes on the phone. Fuck you need a cell phone for.
Yeah, that's enough time, right?
I ain't messing my bed up like that.
Yep. So a low security federal prison, you're going to make it just fine, right? You're not worried about getting beat up and shanked and having to do. What about paperwork? Did they ask you for your paperwork?
See, that's another thing. but I heard that they're not asking for paperwork.
They don't. Not in a low or a camp. You're not going to be out. You can talk to white guys, Mexican guys, Chinese guys. It don't matter. There's no really politics. You know.
Yeah, no paperwork here. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you hear that, guys? He's in a low. Fort Dix. Well, where's Fort Dix at again? What state is that?
This is
New Jersey. He's in Jersey. Fucking Jersey, man. You heard me?
You
Yeah.
still have my information too, right?
Yeah. And I'm going to pull up your registration number here. Right now, I can't do it because I got you on the phone, but I'll pull up your registration number. I'll put it on the screen, and maybe somebody will send you a letter, send you some money. We'll see what we can come up with. Harvey Talks Prison is in the room. Harvey, I got Lewis on the phone. He's calling from prison. What, you been there, 2 days?
Nope. You know, I've been here 4 days.
4 days. Oh, excuse me. 4 days. Hey, that's a difference. No, 2 days and 4.
Long time.
Yeah.
Hey, you know your show pop, bro. You got people calling you from in the jail, bro. Your shit
I know. You're making my show right now, man. I got you live from a federal prison, man.
I told you, bro. Like I got you. We're gonna make this bitch lit. That's what
Yeah.
we're supposed to do. Support each other.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Harvey, I'm going to put up the link here. I wanted you guys to come on tonight. Let me see if I can do it here. Put the link on because I'm trying to get a bunch of prison channels on my show tonight. Let me put the link up.
Yeah, let them know what's up.
There's the link. Harvey, come on. Any of you guys out there, you know, you're welcome. There's the link. Or did I put the link up? Well, I punched the link in. There's the link, guys. Oh, wait. You got the... Never mind. But go on, Lewis, man. I know you ain't got much time. This is your show. You talk.
Yeah, but I was gonna say too, like this shit is so crazy because when they lock you up down here, and they lock you up, that's what I don't understand. They test you before you come here, right? They'll give you a COVID test. They know you don't got COVID, but they'll throw you in a room with a whole bunch of other people that might got COVID or that don't got COVID, and then they'll send somebody in there that might have got COVID and don't got COVID, and lock you up. What's the sense of locking me up for if you know I don't got COVID? Why you can't send me the population?
That's a good question.
What's the sense of testing me? What's the sense of testing me if you're still gonna lock me up and make me quarantine?
I like that question, and I don't have that answer.
Like that shit is crazy to me. They doing what they want to do. That's why I don't understand why they doing that. Like, and then when I told them, I said, they don't care about your medicine here. They don't care about.
Oh yeah, I could have told you that.
Like, bro, I could take my medicine and shit like that. They ain't bring my medicine yet.
Still.
They don't give a fuck, bro. They don't care. Like, I talked to the nurse today. She said, "Oh well, I see what I can do. Let's see what you can do."
See what you could do. You could be dead by the time that happens, man.
My point exactly. All it takes is for me to just fall out and have a seizure and it's over. Like, damn, like, you motherfuckers don't care. And then they go and they bring me an asthma pump. I'm like, man, bitch, I ain't running. I don't need this shit. I need the medicine, motherfucker. That's what I need, the medicine. Like, this shit is good. Well, we can't get you no medicine right now, so we can't. We're going to do it on Monday.
Wow.
I've been moving for a long time now. I'm trying to tell y'all people that. So when something happens, don't say I didn't tell y'all that.
Yeah.
So this shit is just crazy. I just need to do my time and go. Because arguing with them is not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then let me tell you another thing. You can't even say nothing to nobody about no paperwork here. You say something to somebody about some paperwork, they're going to lock your ass up.
Yeah, that's right. I knew that. You're not allowed to have it. You can't even have your own paperwork, let alone somebody else's. You can't. Oh, you know, tell them about the child molesters in a low security. I know they're there.
You can't say boo to them motherfuckers.
Right.
Go to jail.
That's what I've been saying. They're protected, huh? They're protected.
Yo, they protected by the popo, though. Not just anybody, but by the popo.
Damn.
Like, you can't say boo to them motherfuckers. You go to jail. You go to the box. You stay with them. Going to the box. They ain't even playing like that here. And then it's crazy because don't nobody want to leave this low. This is a good spot compared to every other spot.
No, I heard Fort Dix is a good one, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you fuck this spot.
Oh, we just lost him, guys. His 15 minutes was probably up. So that was Lewis from federal prison. Hey, Harvey, I tried to get you on and it said EOS something. Try again, Harvey. Let me put up the link again. I mean, you made it into the room. I don't know what happened, Harvey. And T. Chandler, thank you for sharing my channel. I appreciate that. So tonight I was hoping to get some prison channels on. I know Big Weavy is supposed to be in the room, and I invited Vegas Prison Stories. I invited Gangish. Matt Cox. Except Matt Cox sent me a text, guys. He can't make this one, but he's gonna make the next one. If you guys, Matt Cox, great channel. Matt Cox is one of the big timers, and he still talks to me, man. He didn't forget where he came from. And just like all my friends that I've been building on this show in the last couple of years, we don't forget where we came from. So here comes Harvey. Let's see. Device is not add to stream. Let's see if you make it on this time, Harvey. It looks like he's trying. Hope it ain't my connection. And hey, Wesley, you want to come on the links up there too, Wesley? Anyways, it's an open night. It's Saturday Night Live. Let's see. Now it says EOS webcam utility, Harvey. I hope that's not me. I don't think it's me.
What the deal is?
I hear you. What's up, Harvey? I kind of heard you. I think you're trying to plug something in, maybe. EOS webcam utility, and it's got like a cord, like you don't got something plugged in, maybe. I don't know if you want to get out and try again. Let me see. Let me unmute you. Or no, you have to unmute. It won't let me unmute you. Can't unmute your guest. The mic isn't connected. Oh, Harvey, try again. Something's not plugged in there, man. I guess something's not plugged in there. So anyways, guys, that was Lewis from Fort Dix. I'm going to pull up his info here. Let me see if I can get it up here on my other screen. And let's see here. Hopefully this doesn't work. Yeah, good. I got two screens now. I think I figured out all this stuff here so I don't ever get cut off. So I got the inmate locator coming up here. And I'm going to pull up Lewis's information and type in his name. And Lewis, I just said his name too. I got to look it up now. No, I had it memorized. Bird, no, something. I can't remember. Let me find it. Lewis. It's not showing there. I got it somewhere on here. Let me find him. Bird. Anyways, how we doing tonight, guys? I'm going to read some comments. I'm trying to find Lewis here so I can give you his info. Let's see. I got that under here on my other screen here. Let's see. Not there. I'm finding it. I know I had it somewhere. No, it's not showing up. Oh, Lewis Bird. What is it, man? Birdham. Birdim. Birdham. Oh, that's not it. God, I can't remember his last name. I'll have to pull it up. I got it here. It's under my text messages. Anyways, Wesley, Harvey, if you want to try to come back on again, let me try to pull up his name here. I know I got it here somewhere because he was just on my show 5 nights ago before he had to turn himself in. And God, where is it? I got so many people call me, man. I gotta get a better way to hold stuff together. Okay. I don't see it. Here comes Harvey. Add to stream. See what happened. There he is.
Okay, once more. And then,
You got it figured out now, huh, Harvey?
and then that's the last.
Add to stream. See what happened. There he is.
Yeah. I had to
You
switch
got
to a
an
different.
echo going.
You got it figured out now, huh,
All right, but you got two
hold up.
YouTube channels going now.
All right, there we go. I can't stay long, but
All right,
I figure
man.
I'll jump on here for a minute.
No problem, man. No problem. I'm hoping some other people come on. I'm just playing it by ear, Harvey. I put a shout out to all you guys, and I got a call from this guy Lewis. He just got his phone privilege tonight, and he called me. So he was just on my show 5 nights ago before he had to turn himself in. He's got to do 3 years, Fort Dix. You heard him, right? You heard what he was saying?
Yeah, I heard him. Yeah, he just got there, right?
He just got there. He was a felon with the possession and sales of a firearm. He actually sold 2 guns to a snitch. a guy who he thought was his friend. He said the guy spent the night at his house, ate dinner at his table, all this stuff, and then snitched him out, man.
That's the way it usually happens.
That's how they get most people, man. From what somebody tells them, it's usually not. They're usually not caught red-handed.
I didn't know you was live tonight. I just got through doing a live, and then I was doing some other things. I seen you was doing a live. Figured I'd come on here for a minute or two.
Yeah, I sent you an email about 2 hours ago too, and I put it on.
Oh, did you?
Board. Yeah, if you check your email, it's on there too. But you know, you were busy doing a live when I sent you the email.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what's going on with Harvey and Harvey Talks Prison? Tell everybody.
Oh, I'm doing all right. You know, I had a community strike there for a minute, but
What'd you get that for?
it was the guideline they said I violated. It wasn't clear, and so I emailed them and asked them, and they told me it was because I was trying to send people on YouTube to another platform, which was not the case.
Really? And so, like, we can't even say, "Hey, go check me out on Rumble." We can't say nothing like that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
And I just did. Oops.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay.
But what it was is I took a guy's video from TikTok and made a video out of it, and they thought I was trying to send people to.
Oh, I know that YouTube does not like TikTok.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what that was about.
YouTube pays better than TikTok. YouTube's a better channel. You hear that, YouTube? I like you better than TikTok. I don't even use TikTok.
Well, I do, but not so much anymore. I've gotten to where I don't. You know, if you go on there at night, like at this time at night, you go on TikTok. All you do, all these lives pop up with these young teenagers running around half naked. You know, and
yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, when I've been on it, there's nothing. I don't want to watch a guy. There was a guy peeing in a coffee cup. He didn't show but he looked like he's got the coffee, and then he drinks the coffee cup. You know, come on, I don't want to see that, man.
No,
he had 10,000 million views or something.
Well, yeah, the people on TikTok, what they're doing, they'll do anything crazy to get a view, you know. And it's easy to get views on TikTok, but you don't have to do all that crazy stuff. Yeah, it don't pay nothing.
They don't pay nothing either. Yeah, they don't. I heard those Chinese, they don't want to pay nothing, man.
Right. But anyway, other than that, I'm doing all right.
That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, I'm trying to find Lewis's information, but I get too many. I can't multitask. I'll find it. I'm trying to get some money on his books. Even $5 he'd appreciate from people. But if you guys contact me, my email, my phone number, or leave a comment, and I will give you Lewis's information. And if you want to see what he looks like, 5 nights ago we did a live show. So if you have a heart out there, $5, or send him a letter. Letters are worth more than money, right, Harvey?
Letters are gold, man. You know, when I was in prison, letters, that was the thing, you know, the contact on the outside. But, you know, there's some people in prison that don't want that, you know. But I did.
That. Yeah.
I did.
Some guys don't want pictures sent to them. I don't want to see my family, not till I get out. I get it. But, you know, to me,
they don't.
When I got a letter, I could hold it. I could read it over and over. I could, hey, look what I got. Look at this letter. I mean, and I kept all my letters till I got out, you know. I still got them. I got a sack full of letters. If I feel lonely one night, I just pull out a letter, man, you know. Yeah,
I had to. Every once in a while, I had to send my letters home because I was getting too many of them, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And, you know, 29 years, you know, you can't keep 29 years of letters.
Yeah,
you know?
I only did a few years. 29, I don't, yeah.
So you
get the 12
every
cent
once in a while, I
letters,
let see bunch them home.
How much was the stamp when you first got in? 12 cents?
Oh, it was like 20 cents or something. It wasn't very high, you know. And but you know, and the reception center tobacco was free. They gave it to you every Friday. But then, like top and stuff was like 30 cents, and now it went way up until they finally took tobacco out in 2018 in Missouri.
Oh, really? You had it till
Yeah.
2018. Okay.
Yeah, it was one of the last ones.
I think Arizona was one of the last. I think they just stopped theirs a couple years ago, but
Oh, did they?
maybe you hear things. Hey, I heard Missouri now marijuana's legal there now.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the states I thought would never give in.
It just barely passed, and they tried it before through the voting thing, but then they did an amendment, and it passed by 53%.
Nice. Okay. So
But,
now
I mean,
now
it's
those
weird
comments-
that it's weird that a lot of people are against it, and then so it was kind of strange how it got passed, to me. I didn't think it would pass.
Yeah, have you talked to any cops how they feel about it? Now they can't bust you. What are they going to do now?
I haven't talked to any, but before it got passed, the cops were coming out saying, crime's going to rise 500%. Just imagine a cop pulling over somebody high. Well, I would think a cop would want to pull somebody over high than somebody that was drunk,
Yeah. Well, they can't really tell if you smoked it 4 hours ago or 40 hours ago, can they?
I don't know. I heard they can. I heard they got a system in Colorado where they can.
Oh, they
Or
finally
one
came
of
up
those
with
states.
something. Okay.
I don't know, though.
Well, I don't think you should drive high or drunk, but you should be able to, when you get to your house, man, you want to light up a joint, you go ahead, man. You're not who you hurting at your house. But I
Right.
don't think you should be driving high. I don't think drive high,
Well, what they're going to do, they said, is I think all this takes place like in January or something. But anybody who's been convicted of just marijuana charges can petition to get out.
Yeah, California had that, but it takes a couple years, and then they open the gates, and all these people get to go free. It'll take about a year before the stores open up, because now they got to issue licenses and permits, and
Right.
they get inspected, and and they're only
Well,
going to
all
give
these-
each city's only going to give out certain permits, and like in
These people
Colorado, what's that?
These people that will petition to get out of prison because they just have marijuana charges, it's not going to happen overnight. They do things slow in the Missouri Department of Corrections, and
Yeah, I saw that TV show, The Ozarks. They do move a little slow out there.
right. So it's going to take them a little time, and then I don't think they're just going to come flooding out the gates. I think it's going to be a little bit at a time,
Yeah, well, they probably won't do that because that's too much. For one, because they'll probably have to go on probation, and probation officer can't get 315 new guys in 1 week. They can't handle that.
But Missouri got people in there with life sentences, but marijuana charges.
Wow. Oh yeah, life sentences. Wow. But now, can the feds trump that and say, can the feds pick up their charges and move them to a federal
I don't know. I was kind of wondering that myself.
I hope not. They haven't done it. I haven't heard of them taking people from like Colorado that got out and then putting them in the feds. But the feds do raids on dispensaries every now and then, especially the big chains. The feds will come in and raid them and charge them. But they haven't done it legally, but they do their raids now and then. I
know California had that problem with the feds because they say we don't care what the state does. This is federal, and so on the one side you had the state saying it's legal, and the other side you had the feds coming in saying it wasn't. That was years ago, though.
Well, in the federal law, there's no law that says I have to. I cannot talk on my cell phone while I drive. So if you pull me over and you want to do federal charges, I get to talk on my cell phone. Then, I mean, which one are you going to choose, right?
Right.
Only the ones that you like.
Right. Exactly. All right, but supper's about done. I'm gonna get off of here.
All right, man.
All right.
I appreciate.
Thanks for having me.
Harvey. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yep.
All right, guys. Let's see what we got going here. I got a couple news stories to show you, and I don't know if some of the other prison channels will come on here or not. I'm going to read you maybe a news story here. Let me find something here. Let me pull some up here. And let's see, I actually got some news clips and some stories. Let me see, it's coming up here. Harvey's getting off here. Let me take him off the screen. I got rid of Harvey. I'll pull up a news clip or two, and maybe some of you other guys will come in. The link's on there. I'm waiting on Big Weavy. Said he'd come on. If you guys don't know, that's Doing Time with Big Weavy. Here's a story for you youngsters. I don't know nothing about rap music, but there's a rapper, I guess his name is MO3. So suspect in rappers MO3's killing gets 105 months in federal prison. Let me pull that up. Let me share this here. Get over this here. And I'll share this with you guys. And let me mute myself. So let me see here. I'm going to pull this up for you guys. Give it a second here. Should come in a second. Double click it. And that's not the one, but it's coming here. Hadley Jones, what's going on, Hadley? And it's almost coming up. It's a little slow. It says not responding. There we go. Let me mute myself so there's not an ad.
Patrick Williams, Dallas rapper MO3 was shot to death along Interstate 35 in November 2020. Alberto E. Rodriguez/Getty. One of two men facing murder charges in the shooting death of Dallas rapper MO3 in November 2020 was sentenced to 105 months in federal prison this week after pleading guilty to possession of firearm. Federal attorneys for the Northern District of Texas said. Kewan Dontrell White, 23, was arrested in August 2020 police who attempted to stop him after seeing him commit a violation while riding a dirt bike on West Pleasant Run Road in Lancaster. White fled, pushing his bike and leading police on a foot chase. Officers arrested him a short time later and found he was carrying a 9mm pistol. White had a felony record for unauthorized use of motor vehicles and evading arrest and detention, making his possession of a gun a federal crime. He was sentenced to pleading, U.S. said. Associate of White was indicted by a federal grand jury in December 2020. Possessed with intent to distribute a controlled substance after officers searched his home and found a stolen AK-47 rifle. He received an 80-month prison sentence in September 2021 after pleading guilty, according to court records. A Dallas County grand jury indicted White on state murder charges in MO3's death in February 2021. Brown's indictment for murder came 2 months later, according to news reports. Both cases are pending. MO3, born Melvin Noble Jr., grew up in North Dallas and was a rapper whose fame grew rapidly after the 2014 release of his debut mixtape, Shot Taz. He followed up with the viral hit Hold Your Tongue and a sequel, Shot Taz Reloaded. His hits also included Everybody, Keep It G, True Story, and I'm the Truth. Lyrically, MO3 was a rugged wordsmith and a complex artist whose fans relished his rebellious authenticity, Observer hip-hop writer Bryson Boom Paul noted at the time of his death. Dallas police said the rapper was driving north on Interstate 35, near Clarendon Drive around noon on November 11, 2020, when he was approached by a man driving a dark-colored car. Noble pulled over and stopped, and the man, armed with a handgun, left his car and approached Noble's vehicle. Noble left his car and ran south on the freeway, chased by the gunman, who fired several shots into Noble's back, killing him and wounding a bystander before fleeing. At the time of the shooting, White was free on bond for unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon.
I said all that while I was muted. Thanks. So every time I show a clip, I got to mute myself, but I got to remember to unmute myself. So I was saying, I put this on here for the younger viewers because I don't know nothing about rap, guys. I don't know who that guy was. I never heard of him, but I thought I'd put a story out there for the younger viewers. But Hadley Jones, he's hoping to find out where he's going to self-surrender next week. And like I said, Hadley, the marshals will know. The district court where you got sentenced, there's clerks that work for that judge. Get a hold of that phone number on the internet somehow, and you can call those clerks. Your lawyer might know. You're usually the last one to know where you're going to go to prison at. I don't know if you recommended or suggested or requested to go to a certain prison. Most of the time, they'll give you the request as long as you don't have co-defendants there. But if, like I say, you got family in Chicago, but you live in New York, they'll send you to Chicago to be close to your family. They'll normally grant that. Or if there's a program you want to go to. And it says no sound, but I should have sound now, guys, right? I'm hoping. I just got to, these buttons. I got the button. Who's got the button? I got to remember what button. Midwest Fly. There he is. What's going on? He says you're still on mute? I can't be. Am I still on mute? Hello, check. Let me check my, let's see here. How about now? Have I been on mute the whole time, guys? You're still on mute. Let me see. How about now, guys? Am I on mute? God, I don't want to say it 3 times, but let's see. Let me check. Okay. Now I'm not on mute, right? I got to learn my buttons. I can hear you. Okay, great. Thanks, man. So anyways, like I was saying, I'll just run it by real quick here. For Hadley, call the marshals, call the clerk's office where you got sentenced, or call your lawyer. They'll probably all know first where you're going to get sentenced. You're usually the last one to know. And Wesley, thanks for telling me, guys. I guess I got to learn to hit my buttons, man. I'm working. I'm evolving, guys. I do know how to show clips now without getting frozen. And I got rid of my 4K camera. You guys can probably see me better. And I'm just using this attach-on thing to my laptop, and it works so much better. The 4K camera, I found out, guys, doesn't broadcast in 4K. It'll take, I can videotape in 4K and then run it. But here's the thing. Most people don't watch YouTube with a 4K computer. That's like you might have a 5G cell phone that gets 5G. Like I'm in Albuquerque. There are no 5G towers. So why would you even want one? So I got rid of, I'm not using the 4K camera anymore. I think they can see me clearer this way. So I'm learning little tricks of the trade as I go on. Let's catch up with some comments. Yeah, he can hear me now. You can hear me now. Great. And no, you were fine all along. All right. Okay. Well, now I don't know who to believe, but you're up like that. All right. And I know Midwest Fly. We know who you are. I'll just call you DG. Anyways, hopefully Midwest Fly, when you get your case, when you talk to that a magistrate about going on social media, because right now he's not allowed to be on social media, guys. And that's all I'm going to say about him. But I am helping him out to get a better outcome with the sentence. So I've been talking to your pastor and your sister. We're going to write some letters. We're going to get you all trained and coached for the judge on sentencing day. And there's a lot of work you got to do and a lot of work I'm doing, but I'm helping Midwest Fly out. And we're going to get him the best possible outcome we can at sentencing day. And that's all we can do, you know. And at the end of the day, you're hopefully you're a better person because you've worked on yourself. You've worked to change. You've caught the errors, and you see the errors in your ways. You're making changes and actions, and you're going forward with your life, even though you know you might have to go to federal prison. You're doing all these changes on the inside, which reflect on the outside, which the rest of the world and the judge and the courts and everybody sees. And I see it in you, and little by little you change. And you know what? You become a better man. And you take the worst possible thing that could happen to you in life, which is going to prison. Maybe death is worse. There are maybe some other worse things, but you take a really bad situation and you turn it positive. And that's what I've been trying to do since day one of my first video a couple years ago. You ever seen my first video, my first day in prison? My message was the same then as it is now, that you're going to get through this if you're going to prison. If you're not going to prison, watch the channel and watch my interviews with people and watch them change and evolve. And I do interviews with people before they go to prison. A lot of them get out. They come on the show. I just had Lewis on the phone live. He's calling me from Fort Dix prison. I just did a show 5 nights ago with him. That was, what was that? Monday night. He turned himself in Tuesday or Sunday. Anyways, 5 nights ago, he was on my show live. Then he had to go to prison the next day, and he just got his phone privileges today. He called me, and he told you guys everything that's going on in prison, and he's going to make it. He's going to low security. He's a young man. He's 30 years old, and I will have his information when I can find it and put it on the screen. If you could put some money on Lewis's books or write him a letter, send me an email, put me a comment. I'll get back to you. I'll shoot you his info. Even $5, guys, will go a long way in prison, because $5 can buy you shower shoes, toothpaste, shampoo, a couple hygiene products. It's not much money, but it all helps. And, the letters are even better than that. And if you write him a letter, put your email underneath it. Then he can also send you an email and put your phone number, because he gets 500 free minutes. In all the federal facilities right now, you get 500 free phone minutes a month. So if you shoot him some money, put your phone number on there on the Western Union or the MoneyGram, and he probably will give you a call and say thank you. I know he would. Let's see, what do we got here? Wesley says, I meant you were fine all along after you unmuted yourself. Yeah, well, technology, I got to remember to unmute. And hey, I just got somebody from Facebook coming on here. Oops, I was just told not to mention other social media channels while you're on YouTube. So, but I'm on 3 platforms right now, and one of them is this YouTube channel. So, and I invited some other prison channels. I don't know where they are. Maybe they got confused with the time. Maybe they got a live show going right now. But Harvey Talks Prison was on here. Go check out his channel. He did 29 years in Missouri State prisons. I got him mixed up with Gary Pennington, who did 33 years in Nebraska prisons. And Gary is a guy that I work with at Wings for Life. And my neighbor, who needed a job because he had a rent voucher thing and it just ran out. And he comes to me and he goes, man, I got to go to work now and I got to come up with rent. So Gary's got a YouTube channel called Fix or Repair Maintenance. And it's on YouTube, and I'll plug his channel too. I helped him start his YouTube channel, but he did 33 years in Nebraska prisons and learned a trade while he was in there. He knows he can fix anything. Right now, it's wintertime, so he's doing heaters and things like that, but and ducts and he has all kinds of work that he has, and he's always looking for help. So my neighbor, who has done some time, but he's off paper and all that now. So I called Gary, and anyways, I got him a job, and he's just got to call Gary this weekend, and he probably already did. And Gary's going to put him to work and pay him a good, decent wage, and he'll have his rent paid this month. Because he knows that I've been to prison. He knows I do this channel. So, I try to help everybody out that I can. Gary's the one who helped him. I just happen to know a guy, So that's kind of what I'm about. And let's see. Let me catch up with some comments. Midwest Fly says, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, thank you very much. I'd love to have you on the show, Midwest Fly, but I know you're banned from social media. What are you going to do? Well, listen, let me put on another clip here. Let me go over here and let me set it up first on this side. So now remember, hit all the right buttons. I got some news clips to show you. Click the button here. Click the button twice. There we go. Here's a guy sentenced to 137 months for drug trafficking. Is that the video? Oh, these aren't the videos, but here's one about Justine Maxwell. You know, the lady, the Epstein, the Weinstein, the guy that had the island with sending all the girls over there to have sex with movie stars and politicians and all that. She got 20 years, and they got a little update on her. So I'll share that with you. Let me see here. Share the screen. Share the screen. I'm going to mute myself so you don't hear an echo. And here we go. Mute my mic.
Ghislaine Maxwell, host checkers contest, has clique of powerful inmates in jail. November 11, 2022. Ghislaine Maxwell is popular behind bars in Florida. More on Ghislaine Maxwell. Virginia Giuffre drops defamation suit against Alan Dershowitz, says she may have made mistake. Teen Madam Ghislaine Maxwell, seen laughing, jogging on prison track. Disgraced Prince Andrew, now virtual recluse, just watches TV all day after Epstein scandal. Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's death in jail is profoundly suspicious. Ghislaine Maxwell is Ms. Popular in the pen. Jeffrey Epstein's convicted madam is well liked by a clique of powerful inmates behind bars in Florida, where she works at the library, makes pottery, and hosts a checkers competition, according to a report Friday. The 60-year-old British socialite turned jailbird has a cushy life at the Federal Correctional Institute Tallahassee in part because fellow inmates respect her intelligence, insiders told the Daily Mail. Cellmates in her prison wing, Unit B South, nominated the Oxford University-educated sex trafficker to represent them in an annual checkers tournament which yields delicious prizes, the outlet reported. You want the best players, and she has a reputation for being smart, an insider said. The winning unit gets a really good meal, chicken wings, pizza, that sort of thing. It's much better than the usual food. Maxwell is serving 20 years sex trafficking minors. The source added, it's a big deal. Nobody cares what you're in for so long as you win. Maxwell also works 6 hours a day at the prison library, where the outlet reported. The convicts daily.
You know what? I heard enough. She's got it good, guys. She's got it good, and I heard enough. Let me take this off here. Yeah, I heard enough. She should have got 200 years. I don't care if she's a woman. She was manipulating women to go to this little sex island, and she didn't care how old they were. And here you hear she's got it made in federal prison. I shouldn't even ran this story. I want to get to one of my comments here because I got a guy that I went to high school with from South City, California. Xavier McAuliffe is in the room, and he's talking about his brother, who another good friend of mine. Now, these are the McAuliffes. There was 4 of them: Charlie, Xavier, Tony, and Mario. I love you all. And Xavier says, looking good, trying to keep up the good work. Mario just got out 3 days ago. He did 2 years again and again. Mario. Look, you have Mario call me, okay? My number here, I'm going to even put up my number here. And if you guys want to call in live, I'll put that on here too. And Xavier, if you want to call in live, I'd love to talk to you. But I want to talk to Mario because I want to get through to him. He don't ever have to go back to prison. And I know Mario is a good guy. I mean, all you guys are. But Mario, man, back again in prison, man. I need to get through to him, Xavier. I can help him out with a job, even from here in New Mexico. I know people out there in the Bay Area, Savior, I want to help your brother. And you make sure you have Mario call my ass, okay? He better fucking call me because I need to wring his neck, but I love the guy. And man, how long's he been going in and out of prison, Savior? He's got a life sentence. It's just like, on the installment plan. What the fuck? And you know what? Who am I to talk, right? I ended up going to prison too, but I think I've turned it all around, Savior. And now I'm trying to help people and I want to help Mario. So you make sure Mario calls me. And I'm going to put my number on the screen. And then if anybody wants to call in live, actually, let me do this so I can run the comments. There's my number, but I'm going to I got another way to do this where I can say call in live and read the comments. Now I go back and I can read the comments. I'm learning the buttons, man. I'm learning the buttons. And Jeff says, anyone ever been to FCI Hurlong in California? I could punch that up for you. I haven't been there. Oh, I do know. What I do know about it, it's a small little camp. I think it's 87 inmates. I'll punch it up here in a minute. It's a small little camp. I think it's near Reno. And I have talked to a couple of people that went there. I've never heard anything bad about it. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I'm going to you guys can't see it, but I'm going to the BOP website. So that's bop.gov. And that is your Bible, guys. Anybody facing federal prison time, you want to go to the Federal Bureau of Prisons website. That is your Bible, okay? It's got so much information, and it's always being updated and changed. Although a lot of it is out of date, there is still so much information. So, I pulled up here. Let me share it with you guys. And we'll share this here with you. And this is Hurlong, FCI Hurlong. It's a security federal correctional adjacent minimum security satellite camp. And I'll say it again because what is medium security? What is adjacent minimum security? What is satellite camp? What is minimum security? All this, I'm going to explain it. In the feds, there are four levels. There's active levels. They've got one. And I had to work there in the daytime. Started off washing dishes over there. Ended up making the last trays before I left for El Chapo. He was there about a month before I got released. So when you work at a camp, when you are doing your time at a camp, you are a worker. It's a work camp. And most of the jobs are at other prisons. And they drive you over there. An inmate drives you, and you come back at the end of the day, and you spend the night at the camp. So there's 4 levels. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is a camp. 2 is a low, 3 is a medium, and 4 is a high. But there's other names for them. So level 1, a camp, can also be called a minimum security. It could also be called an adjacent camp. It could be called a satellite camp. It can be called a low security satellite camp, not to be confused with a low security. There's different names and different terms. But a satellite camp is like, so you got the moon that revolves around the earth, right? That moon is considered a satellite. It's drawn in by gravity, right? It's not going to go anywhere. That moon revolves around the earth. A satellite camp revolves around another prison. In this case, it revolves around the medium security in Hurlong. So if that makes sense to you. So satellite camp is connected to a larger prison. And then you have a low security prison, which is the level 2. And in a camp, we don't have fences. We have out of bounds signs. I think there are 5 camps that have fences. And I heard there's different reasons. Maybe one used to be a medium but most camps do not have a fence. The low security has a fence, and they have lots of sex offenders, guys. So, and like we just heard Lewis say, you can't even acknowledge, you can't talk to them. You can, but you got to say nice things to them, which I could never do. Anyways, he said they are protected. They are a protected species, these sex offenders. What does the world coming to, guys? They have rights and everything else. The next thing you know, they're going to be marching through the streets, which they probably already are. But you have your low security. That's a level 2. Then you have a medium and you have a high. Now, the 1 and 2 are safe places to do prison. They don't ask you for your paperwork. You don't have to join a gang. You don't have to join a car. A car is like a race car. The race being black, white, Mexican, Samoan, whatever it is. You don't have to join one of those. You can take a nap in the daytime. You can't take a nap in the daytime at a medium or a penitentiary because somebody's going to come along and shank you. And so the level 3 and the level 4s are very, very bad places. Level 4, the penitentiaries are the worst. Even your worst hardcore thug, gang member, executioner, enforcer, he's scared to go to a penitentiary, okay? So that's the worst of the worst. So there's 4 levels. So they have a level 3 and a level 1 here, a medium and a camp. And it says here, in the medium, they have 1,488 total inmates, 77 inmates at the camp. What did I say, 87? I was off by 10. But it's in Lassen County, which is Mount Shasta, I believe, which is the Sierra Nevada mountains. And right after that is Nevada and then Reno. So, yeah, it's a little camp, and they're going to make you you're going to work. Now, if you are sentenced to go to the FCI, that doesn't mean you're doing your time at the FCI, okay? Let me take this off the screen. So when I got my designation paper, it said FCI Florence. I freaked out because that's a medium. I called my lawyer. Oh, I guess you're going to a medium. He didn't even know. And, you know, I had a real lawyer, but I didn't pay for him. I had a court-appointed lawyer, but he's a real lawyer in the courts. I had a bunch of co-defendants. So if you have co-defendants, chances are you're going to get a real lawyer that the court appoints and pays for. Out of the 9 co-defendants, one of them had the public defender. The other 8 of us had court-appointed lawyers that were paid for by the courts. And they don't know a whole lot. That's why I started this channel. I mean, he's telling me you got to go to the medium. He's telling me I got to turn myself into the marshals. I go, the paper says here I can go to the camp or the FCI. He goes, well, are you going to believe me or are you going to believe the paper? I go, well, I'm going to make some calls. I called RDAP Dan. I called Walt Pavlo, and they both said, no, you turn yourself into the prison. I even called the marshals, and they go, you can come here if you want, but we're going to shackle you and put you on a bus to Oklahoma City, and it could be 3 or 4 or 5 months before you get to your designation. And I called back the lawyer, and I said, well, everybody says you're wrong. I'm going to a camp. And he got mad at me. And he said, well, if you call me again, man, I'll fucking make sure you don't go to the camp. This is the lawyer telling me that. He was angry. And that's why I started this channel. So anyways, your designation may be FCI Herlong. That's where you check in. That's like the main lobby. That's the registration of the hotel. They're going to check you in, fingerprint you, and change you out. And then you're going to go, they're going to send you over to the camp to do your time. Because chances are, if you're on my channel right now, you're out on a federal pretrial bond, whether you paid for it or didn't pay for it, ankle bracelet or no ankle bracelet, you're not a red flag and you're not a flight risk. They're going to let you self-surrender. Obviously, they are because you're waiting for your paperwork. So you're not going to the medium. I will 98% guarantee you're not going to the medium because there's always that 2% chance. You're going to check in at the medium, but you're going to go to the camp. And I hope that makes your day a lot better. Let me get some more comments over here. Terrell. Good to see you, Terrell. Good evening, Sean. Just come from my first road trip off house arrest. Just joined the live. Right on, Terrell. Terrell, you remember Lewis that was on here 5 nights ago? I started the show with him on the phone calling me from Fort Dix Prison. So catch the rerun, catch the replay. He talked he got 15 minutes. We used it all up. And then they cut him off. And but he said a lot of good things about where he's at. He's not scared. He's going to make it, even though it's a low security. He was happy to be there, but he is in quarantine. So he's not in the main part, but he's not in the shoe. He's like with 100 guys in the dorm, and they might be there for a month or 2, but he's still happy, and he knows he's going to get through it. And, he thanked all you guys for last time he was on the show. And I'm going to put if you got $5 or $10 to put on his books or something, shoot me a comment, shoot me an email, call me, and I'll give you the information to help him out. Let's go on with the next comment, which was me. Yes, you can still call in live, and I'll put up that live button. I don't know what happened to it, but let me put it up again. Anybody wants to call in live, let me take that off the screen. Let me get the number. Okay, I got that set up if you call in live. And let's get back to the comments. Now I'm learning how. Am I muted? No. I thought I just talked and I was muted. Okay. I'm getting this right, guys. I'm hitting the right buttons. Okay. Where was I now? IK Westbrook. How about the camp in Sheridan? I do know about Sheridan. I haven't been there, but it's 2 camps in one, like a south and a north. And they have 2 RDAP programs. And they work you. They have a dairy, they have a farm, they have agriculture, horticulture. They're going to be picking apples and fruit and pulling potatoes out of the ground and everything else, and you're going to be working hard. They do give you credit for that now. The earned time credits for the First Step Act. So you do 3 years of work on that camp, you'll go home a year early. So there is that. Oh, no, I take that back. Every 30 days of programming, you get 15 days off. So you do 2 years of that labor, you'll go home a year early. That's if you work 7 days a week. You're not going to work 7 days a week. So it might take you 2.5 years to get a year off. But it's a good place, except the cops, the COs. I know they like to be called correctional officers, but let's just call them guards or cops because it's my show. Anyways, they don't like to be called guards or cops. They're hard. They're hard in Sheridan. I mean, you steal an orange out of the chow hall down your pants. Like most people, the extra fruit, and you'll take it. They're not going to tolerate it. I've heard them throwing people in the shoe just to be pricks and assholes. To smoke a cigarette in Sheridan, man, you got to have 10 lookouts. It still happens, but they're strict. Probably not a lot of cell phones in Sheridan because they crack down. So those guards over there are hardcore, but the inmates are good guys, and you work and they pay a little better. I think they pay 40 cents an hour when you're working, out on the plantation for the master, which is the government. Because that's what it's going to feel like. You're going to feel like a slave labor. That's one thing about Sheridan. You're going to work hard. You're going to sweat, and you're going to be tired at the end of the day. And you're going to be glad to get to your bunk and fall asleep. And that's kind of life at Sheridan. But there's a lot of good guys that go there. Let's see. Next one. He says, are they still doing the 2-week quarantine when you first enter? So Lewis just called from Fort Dix. They're quarantining him for a month or two, but not in the SHU, a special dorm. All right. And he says there's like 100 guys. They're going to keep them there for at least a month. But he says there's access to a lot of things, and they go to the store and all that. It's not that bad, but he can't go out and play yet. You know what I mean? He can't go out to the classrooms and the track and the field and the gym and the music room and all the arts and crafts room and go play pool. They have pool halls in federal prisons, guys. Mine only had 2 tables because we were a small camp. He's with 3,000 inmates. They probably have 20 pool tables in there. It's going to be just like a pool hall. So, yeah, there's a lot to do in a federal prison, in at least level 1 and level 2. There's a lot to do in the other ones, but it's more tight. It's small little rooms and stuff and not much movement. But in levels 1 and 2, a lot more movement and a lot more things to do. So hope that answers your question. Here we got Kathy Whittington. Do you know any Florence High in Colorado? I did my time in Florence, but I was at the camp. The only guys I know that went to Florence, the penitentiary, I actually worked with one of them at Wings for Life. Well, he's one of our, he's doing community service for us. And his name's Ernesto, and he tells me it was tough. There's a couple of guys here in Albuquerque that I've met through him that were at Florence at the penitentiary. And it's a tough place. Every time somebody got shanked or stabbed or a guard got pushed or kicked or whatever, they locked the whole place down. Us campers had to go work at that penitentiary. We had to mop their floors, empty their trash, do their laundry, make their bologna sandwich trays, or they eat bologna sandwiches for the first month. For breakfast, they get a little bag of cereal, they get a milk, they get a banana and a bowl and maybe a carrot stick or something. I don't know. And then bologna sandwiches for lunch, bologna sandwiches for dinner for about a month. Then they start giving them the hot food, and then they slowly take them off lockdown. And some of those inmates come work in the kitchen, and we finally don't have to work because I had to work my day. I had to go work all day long at the Supermax, right, Monday through Friday, washing dishes over there, and then on the weekends they have me go work at the penitentiary. And anybody who didn't have a job, where you're doing 7 days a week. And it seemed like every other month that penitentiary is going on lockdown for one thing or another. One time they said they got locked down because there was a Filipino transgender prostitute, whatever we're going to call them, who somebody didn't pay for his services. So the people that owned him decided to shank the guy who didn't pay, and the whole place went on lockdown. This is the crazy shit that happens in prison, guys. Okay. Yeah. So, there's that's what I know about the penitentiary. I know a little bit more, and she says anything. So let's see. And if you know some, Kathy, if you have somebody, my husband is at Florence High in Colorado. So it's not going to be easy for him. You pretty much gotta show your paperwork. So as long as he's not a snitch or a child molester, he'll be okay. But it's tough to survive. It's a tough place to survive, Kathy. This is where, it's gladiator school. I hate to say, he's got to hook up with whatever race he is. If he's Mexican, if he's Filipino, if he's Samoan, if he's Tongan, whatever, you got to hook up with your people to survive in there. You really do. In the medium, not so much, but in the high, yeah, Kathy, I hate to say, he's going through hell, and he's probably not going to tell you much about it. For one, pride. For one, he wants to be a man. He doesn't want to tell you this. But they go through some hell, Kathy, and you can get him to share a little bit with you. My heart goes out to those guys. And even the nicest guy is not going to come out the nicest guy. It's just life. In the highs, it's survival, guys. It's all about survival. And to keep your sanity and your soul and your goodness that you come in with, it's not easy. Here's my suggestion, Kathy. Tell him to hang out in the law library and in the chapel. They have maybe 20 different religious, organizations. Join some of those. You don't have to go to church on Sunday, but they have, they just have movies nights and things like that. Join people in the chapel and the law library. Those are the good guys that he's going to find, and you find those people and you cling on to them. And if you stick together with the guys in the law library, because those are usually guys that are trying to help themselves and help other guys fight their cases, and they're all about change. So tell them the law library is the first place I would go to, and then the chapel is the second place. And if he goes and finds friends like that, he'll get through it, because there's strength in numbers. And if you are in a high, they usually leave the Bible thumpers, whatever it is. If you're Jehovah's Witness, if you're Jewish, if you're Muslim, whatever group you hang out with there, they leave you alone. They leave you alone, and you can do your thing. And maybe you're not Christian, or you're not Jewish, or you're not Muslim, but join them anyways, and that'll get you through your time. Okay, so that's kind of how you're going to survive, unless you want to join the gang. I don't think that's what you want. It's probably not what he wants. Let's see what else. He has 4 years left. Oh man, on a 20-year sentence. Can you tell me what high means? High means there's 4 levels: 1, 2, 3, and 4. High is the highest. So that's the penitentiary. There is a 5th one, the Supermax, but that's where the terrorists go, the Unabomber, El Chapo, all the worst of the worst go there. Actually, they're not all that bad in the Supermax. Some guys actually will pull out a knife in front of a guard so they can go to the Supermax, because then you get your own cell and you get your own TV. You'll never see anybody, and you'll be locked up by yourself for the rest of your time. But you know what? Sometimes that's a lot better. And if I had to go to the penitentiary, that's what I would do. I would pull a knife on a guard. I wouldn't stab the guard, but I'd send me to the Supermax. I want to do my time in the Supermax. That's how, probably chicken shit way to get out of it, but that's what I would do, guys. But I got lucky. I went to a camp. And IK Westbrook, do you get good time if you're sentenced to 6 months? Not for 6 months. For a year and a day, you'll get 54 days off. But if you only get sentenced to a year, you got to do the whole year. So I'm afraid not. And he's probably not going to get any earned time credits, because they don't even evaluate you till you've been there for 6 months. He's got to serve the whole 6 months, but they may give him a month halfway house. He may only do 5 months and get a 1 month halfway house. And that's about the best you're probably going to get on a 6 month sentence. He's an Aryan. Well, stick with the Aryans. But if he's going to a camp or law, good luck finding them. They don't really have those guys there. I mean, there's some of them there, but they're not active. You know what I mean? And I got some spam here. Can get rid of you. Put user in time. Block user. You guys don't want to hire some girl, do you? Whatever this says, I'm getting rid of it. I'm blocking you. Blocking you. All right. So I'm caught up with the comments. And let's see. What time is it? Wow, it's been an hour, guys. It's been an hour. I got some more news stories, but I'm just gonna wait and see if there's anybody else in the room. Xavier, you still out there? Did you happen to get my number? Because I want you to tell Mario. You better have Mario call me, or give me his number and I'll call him. Because I don't want Mario going back to prison. I've known Mario since I was like 12 years old, guys. this guy's been a good friend of mine since I'm 58. So that's 40 something years. And his brother was just on here. He just got out again. He just did 2 years. Mario, I don't think ever made it to the feds. He's always going to San Quentin. That's like his home away from home. Anyways, man, I got to talk some sense into Mario. I'll bring him out here. I'll give him a job. He can stay with me, Savior. I'll get him straight. I'll pay for him to come out here, Savior, and he can live with me, and I'll fucking get that guy going. Because I love Mario. I love you, Savior. All you guys, all you McAuliffes out there from South City, California. That means South San Francisco, guys. It's not San Francisco. It's the next county over, San Mateo County. We're called South City. We went to South City High. And anyway, that's my peoples, man. So, Savior, you tell Mario, call me, man. I'll bring him out here and I'll give him a job, and I'll straighten that motherfucker out. He ain't going back to prison if I can help it, Savior. Because he's a good man. He's a good man, and that's one guy who's been in and out all my life that I've known him. He always comes out still a good man. It hasn't changed him. I mean, he comes out a little tougher every time, but not to me. Because, I've known him since I was 12. So, prison can change you, but on the inside, you're still going to be you. It's just, you got to remember, you keep that part of you that's you, guys. So, and this is all in life, okay? If you're hanging out with the wrong people, in the wrong car, in the wrong street, in the wrong neighborhood and all that, man, just remember who you are inside, man, and fight for that, okay? Because you know what? You're watching me right now. You made it this far. I know you're good. Okay. I know you're a good person. All right. So anyways, guys, any last comments? I'm going to wrap it up. And the live button there, anybody wants to call in live, I'll give it a minute here. I love all you guys for watching. Please subscribe. If you need some help going through federal prison, I'm the cheapest consultant out there. I do it 25% less than anybody else out there, and I work twice as hard. So remember, my number is on there. And I have a little team that I built up, and we will get you the best possible outcome on sentencing day. I promise. So anyways, guys, I saw somebody else just came in the room. If you want to leave a comment, come on the show. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up. And Kathy says, thank you. You bet, Kathy. And call me, Kathy. You want to talk? I'll see what I can do. Maybe we can some of the guy Ernesto I know, maybe he can make a call over to Florence, and we can have some guys, look out for him over there. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt. And get the little spaminator here. Block this person with your little sex chatter site. I don't want you. Anyways, I love you guys. God bless you. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm going to do a show tomorrow. Not sure what time, but I'll be back tomorrow. Love you guys. Thanks.